Welcome in here on SportsGrid. It's Betting Above the Rim Pro Basketball. Today I'm Kevin Walsh, of course, with Coach James Young. So much to get to in the basketball world, JY. We're starting to get glimpses from some of our rookies. We're starting to see some win totals appear. And, of course, as always, we keep our eye on the WNBA happenings.
Yeah, it's a great time in the NBA now, Kevin, obviously, with free agency kind of getting in the last couple of weeks. You know, rookie summer league starting this week. We start to see these young guys, see the guys, second-year guys, who's taking the next step. And then, obviously, with the rumors, you know, I mean, hey, shout out Devin Booker. Can a brother get a check? I mean, you make more money than the whole Miami Marlins team. Shout out. That's my one baseball reference of the day in the show. So, to me, it's a fun time in the NBA right now, Kevin, as we look towards the future. And this will be a fun show that we're going to do the next couple of weeks because we're going to kind of give you guys our kind of like overall thought process of the NBA, previewing stuff for the season, guys we like, teams we don't like, but it's a fun time. Only an hour, so make sure you pay attention.
We're going to talk a little bit about some of the panic levels between the Fever and the Aces. When you talk about the WNBA, we'll get into the conversations around LeBron and the Lakers, but we start this all off with some have said, one of the best prospects since LeBron, and that is Cooper Flagg, who made his summer league debut appropriately against LeBron's son and Bronny James and the LA Lakers. Dallas grabs a victory in that game. Cooper Flagg with a block and an assist for what was the winning three made by Gonzaga's Ryan Nembhard, who had himself a really, really good debut in Summer League, but the Cooper Flagg performance was always going to bring all eyes, JY. He finishes with 10 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Did shoot very poorly, though. 5 of 21 from the field and 0 of 5 from 3.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's the thing that everyone's going to look at is you know, how he shot from the floor. But me as a coach, I'm going to look at the other side of it, right? Because you're going to have times where you're going to struggle to shoot the ball. It's going to happen. I want to see the other stuff. I want to see his ability to create. I want to see his ability to rebound, which makes he's going to be, folks, I want to make sure I say this right. He's going to be a chameleon. Meaning if you think he's going to go get you 20 a night, it ain't happening. But could he give you 20 points one game? Yes. Can he give you 10 rebounds one game? Yes. Can he give you 10 assists the next game? Yes. Can he get you a triple-double during the season? I think he will. Can he give you maybe 20 double-doubles during the season? Yes. To me, it's about how he's used and how he's played. So to me, yeah, there were a couple of moments. I mean, number one, the dunk and transition early in the game, like I was like, oh, here comes a finger roll. No finger roll. Yeah. He just yammed it. And then the one where he almost dunked on all of LA, he almost dunked on the Lakers and the Clippers at the same time when he came up and tried to yam it down the middle of the lane. So you see the freakishly athletic things, and people start talking about LeBron. I'm going to say this, okay? I want people to understand this. This guy is, I'm going to say this carefully, the best white American prospect since Larry Bird. And think about how Larry Bird kind of came in Magic and transcended the game. We've talked about for a long time, LeBron's towards the end. You know, KD's towards the end. Steph Curry's towards the end. Who is going to be the American face of basketball? Is it Ant? Is it, Ja? Probably not, because he can't stay out of trouble. I'm going to tell you now, this kid could have, in a weird way, American-wise, a Caitlin Clark effect on the NBA, meaning driving people to go watch him play. We're all rooting for him, but the thing about him is he's got the game. I'm not panicking about the first game shooting performance.
Cooper Flagg, by the way, just has the ability to be the best player in the NBA. When you get to guys of this level, of this hype, they have very, very high floors and they have incredibly high ceilings. You think about the guys that he's been compared to, right? So Anthony Davis is someone who has a top 3 MVP finish, and I know at least a top 5, is an NBA champion, a number of All-Stars made throughout his career. Victor Wembanyama looks like a future multi-time league MVP. People would bring up Zion. I think we all know it's the health, though, with Zion Williamson, because every time he plays, he's absolutely brilliant. And I think for Cooper Flagg, the one thing that was on display for me, JY, that I thought was important, was the 21 field goal attempts. For Cooper Flagg, because the intangibles are so great, and in that it's not just the winning, right, but it's the defensive hype, right?
Mm-hmm.
The best American defensive prospect, I think, since Anthony Davis as well. At times, we forget the level of scorer I think Cooper Flagg is. When people talk about who's going to lead this rookie class in scoring, right? When we think about, all right, well, Trey Johnson shoots a lot. Oh, Ace Bailey's going to light it up. We know Ace Bailey can get loose, right? How many looks will Jeremiah Fears get in New Orleans? Cooper Flagg is the favorite to lead this class in scoring because Cooper Flagg has shown the highest ability as a scorer. Let's not forget, I understand it was ACC play, but the 42 points that he scored against Notre Dame, nobody had a higher, no one else had a 40 ball, right? Mm-hmm. You think about the NCAA tournament, the 30-piece against Arizona. He scored 27 against Houston, which is like a 50-point game.
Right, exactly.
You know, when you translate it, when you consider that defense. So for me, JY, it's funny, but the 5 for 21 game, the 21 mattered more to me.
Exactly.
And it tells me that, again, rookie of the year, I love value. I love beating numbers. I have not thrown a free bet or anything in this market because he is going to be almost, I think, impossible to beat. Now, for Cooper Flagg, what is unfortunate is his expectations. If you keep your ears open around the coverage of this league, it's not just win Rookie of the Year. It's the Dallas Mavericks in the playoffs. That's what you're hearing. Books, maybe a little more hesitation, JY. 40.5 NBA win totals have come out. 40.5 is the number for Cooper Flagg and the Dallas Mavericks. What's your first reaction when you see that number?
I think it's going to be an over. Now, here's the thing. It's not going to be predicated on him. It's got to be Anthony Davis. How many games can he get you? Can Klay Thompson, can he recapture the magic? What do you got of Martin off the bench? P.J. Washington. Lively gets hurt. Gafford gets hurt. To me, Cooper Flagg, I'm going to say this. Cooper Flagg is almost like the least of my concerns with that team. It's everyone else and their ability to stay healthy. But, folks, remember, 47, 48 wins is what you needed to make the playoffs. So there's two ways to look at it. It's make the playoffs or is it the win total? I think they go over it. And I think here's the way I would look at Cooper Flagg, folks. Look at him primarily early in the year, especially with no Kyrie. I would use him at the point, run him into pick and roll action. He's a very good passer, great sight line. And then I would look at rebounds plus assists, but really look at stocks because this guy is going to get at least a steal and a block every game. And if they hang it at 2.5, I think he can get there almost nightly.
What I would say for the Dallas win total is Coach is right. There are two names that probably should be talked about even before Cooper. The first is Kyrie, who is not playing this season. I'm sorry, Kyrie's a streamer now, and he's talking about it on his streams. I see the graphics that get put out, projected starting 5, and it's Kyrie. It's like, it's D'Lo, man. Like, that's who's starting. The other thing is Anthony Davis, who is still a fringe top 10 player in the NBA, depending on where you ultimately land. Mm-hmm. Look at this team. Again, remove Kyrie. How many games does AD miss? And how many do you need from him to feel comfortable? Because that can be the swing factor for this basketball team. There's a lot of other guys that are going to bring out a lot of question marks, like a Klay Thompson, trying to figure it out still, Derek Lively, P.J. Washington, right, JY? Mm-hmm. So I think it's a fun team, but 40.5 is telling. This is not this team's going to be a top 4 seed based on how the books are listing things. We're coming up against the break here. It's Kevin Walsh and Coach James Young. Up next, the Utah Jazz. Ace Bailey's there. He's playing. What do we think? We'll talk about it with you next.
That is the idea. It really is for in-game live. Have you said it? The home team, who's a double-digit or close to it anyway, favorite, and get off to a bad start and actually have them trailing by 5, 6, 7 to the point where you get it at pick'em. And I don't know how many times. I'd like to know a stat of how many times a team that's been favored by double digits, trailed by double digits, and actually won the game. I bet it's a lot.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
You've got issues up and down here. The bullpen is falling apart, to put it nicely. And have you seen the schedule for the Yankees for the rest of the month of July here? We have Seattle, then we have the Cubs, then you have Atlanta, then you have Toronto again in Toronto. That really didn't go all that well this week. And then you have Philadelphia and Tampa. Good luck to the Yankees in July here.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
They're still trying to throw Dalton Knecht's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Knecht, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Knecht 20-plus points at plus 120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10-plus points at plus 118.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Time for the Blue Jays to really make another addition at the deadline. They just got Max Scherzer back. Can they get another pitcher to help out with the pitching staff, which I still think is their biggest issue? They're looking into being a good spot right now.
And also, Tom, like just the evolution of handicapping, right? Early in the season, like, I don't want to take this Blue Jays lineup. Like, it's really bad. Now, the past couple weeks, like, every day I'm looking at the Blue Jays going like, ooh, team total, RBI chances, guys that were in household names at the beginning of the year.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Back with you here on Betting Above the Rim. We talked a little Dallas Mavericks, who feature the top rookie from this year's class. The Utah Jazz feature maybe the most discussed rookie from this year's class in Ace Bailey. There was a push and pull. Is he actually going to show up? Well, he did. And he's played for this team in the Utah portion of the Summer League, showing us a little bit. I guess I should just start here, Coach, and then we can, put in a box, maybe hopefully forever. Do you now feel like Bailey and Utah, all good? He's locked in. He's there. Whatever the issues were, they've been worked out.
Well, I think it's very simple. Is he wanted to be a star, and he wanted to have the playing time. And I told people when we looked at it, I said, I'm looking at 4 guys, right? I'm looking at Sexton, Clarkson, Collins, Marketing, and I said, you got to move at least 3 of them. And every time that you move a player, that opens up shots and opportunities for a player like Ace Bailey. Well, Colin Sexton, check, gone, right? Jordan Clarkson, gone to the Knicks. Collins, we'll talk about that later, what his impact would be with the Clippers. So now there's a pathway and a playing time for Ace Bailey. And listen, I'm going to say the same thing I said about Cooper Flagg. I don't care if you make shots. Mm-hmm. I don't care about field goal shooting percentage. Go look at what Wemby did his first game in Summer League. Go look at Porzingis. Very rarely does a guy in a first year in the first Summer League game come out hotter than fish grease. You know it and I know it, right? I want to see the other stuff. I want to see if you rebound. I want to see if you pass the ball. I want to see if you play defense. And all of those things were what people honestly were questioning about Ace Bailey coming into the draft. Does he play enough defense? Peichel didn't hold him accountable enough. Guy with the amount of volume that he had with the ball averaged like 1.5 assists. Does he rebound enough? Mm-hmm. Well, to me, if he struggles from the floor shooting, but I got all the rest of it, then I'm good. I was all on board. I still said going into this draft, he was the number 3 overall prospect. You could argue he could have been number 2, but the way he acted slid him down some boards. Utah got their guy, and I think it's all good now because a lot of the other guys got moved.
Yeah, I think that Ace Bailey, whatever the holdup was, it feels behind us. And I liked what I saw from Ace Bailey in those games. I thought he, to Coach's point, was doing a lot of the other stuff. And I think a lot of people who were not as in on Ace Bailey as I know I was myself were like, oh, he's never going to do those things. And I thought those things were the aspects of his game that shined, which was nice to see. But now we can then move on from the oddness of the Ace Bailey situation and now address the outrageousness of the Utah Jazz situation. Danny Ainge goes to Utah to take over and be a big part of what they're doing. Then they bring in Austin Ainge, and basically upon arrival, it's like the tanking is done. And either the Ainges have completely lost their touch as dealsmen, or they are purposely losing trades in order to give themselves a chance to tank and nosedive towards one of the top 3 players in next year's draft class. Because Colin Sexton to Charlotte for Yusuf Nurkic and a second is outrageous. Actually, I think the second might have gone the other. It was an awful trade. Colin Sexton is a legitimately good player that I think you'd like to have on a maybe winning team if you could, as like a 6th-man option. I don't know why he's on Charlotte. Yusuf Nurkic is a backup big to Walker Kessler, who's like clearly never getting traded despite the fact he's always in trade rumors. Then they cut Jordan Clarkson. Okay, that's fine. That is what he ultimately got signed for the minimum. It's not like they could have done much better. But then you get this, 3-team scenario where Norm Powell's in Miami. Okay. John Collins is with the Clippers. Okay. And the return for the Jazz is Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson, who feel like they may play a combined 0 games for the Utah Jazz.
Kevin
Love
will play combined.
Definitely not playing for the Utah Jazz.
No, done.
So we look at this basketball team here, JY, and, Lauri Markkanen seems very comfortable with the early SGA OKC plan of I'll play 50 games and then you can send me off for an early summer and I'll sit out and make sure all the losing is good. I'm not going to – I don't need the league to step in. I just don't know why the Jazz tried to say they were done tanking, because every single thing they are doing screams we hope we go 0-82 next year.
It's obvious tank. We know they were tanking before they even said they weren't tanking anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very obvious. You look at the 2026 class, and you got AJ DiBenza, who's basically in that state playing in prep school basketball, now playing at BYU. Like, they want this kid, obviously. So when you look at this is a really big year for these young guys. Isaiah Collier, who's looked good in spots in Summer League. Walter Clayton Jr.'s looked good in Summer League so far. Hendricks, as he takes the step in year 3. Walker Kessler, coming or going. Keontae George. Flip had 32 last night. So they have guys that are young guys. But at the end of the day, here's what it comes down to. And I think someone has said this. Nobody wants to play in Utah. The NBA's got a problem. No free agent wants to go there unless you give them the back.
But I feel
I'm not going there. You give me all.
I feel as if this is, in all seriousness, one of the. I'm not kidding. I think one of the reasons they are tanking is they will do whatever it takes for AJ DiBenza. I believe their thought is AJ will be fine being here, and we not only will get the rookie portion of it, like AJ will sign deal after deal after deal to be a Utah Jazz.
Yep.
Like, I think if next year, let's just say the Jazz in the lottery end up with a 3rd pick. Let's say AJ's going 1. I know those are all debatable things. I wonder if they will basically trade
everybody,
heaven and earth, to get AJ DiBenza.
Yes, because at the end of the day, they have to find themselves a star that's going to willing to be staying there and play there. Yeah. Because he's played prep school basketball and he's comfortable enough to go to BYU. I don't care what kind of NIL money he got. He's comfortable being in that state. That means something. At some point, Utah hasn't been good since Stockton and Malone. Like if you really look at it, they got to find their star. Their star is Ace Bailey now, but it's more next year.
I will also let people know the book's very aware of Utah's priorities. The Utah Jazz win total is 18.5. To give you reference on that, Washington's is 21.5. Brooklyn's is 20.5. It's tank season in Utah. Mike Brown, the Knicks head coach. We'll see what Coach thinks next.
That is the idea. It really is for in-game live. You said it. The home team, who's a double-digit or close to it anyway, favorite, and get off to a bad start and actually have them trailing by 5, 6, 7 to the point where you get it at pick'em. And I don't know how many times. I'd like to know a stat of how many times a team that's been favored by double digits, trailed by double digits, and actually won the game. I bet it's a lot.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
You've got issues up and down here. The bullpen is falling apart, to put it nicely. And have you seen the schedule for the Yankees for the rest of the month of July here? We have Seattle, then we have the Cubs, then you have Atlanta, then you have Toronto again in Toronto. That really didn't go all that well this week. And then you have Philadelphia and Tampa. Good luck to the Yankees in July here.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
They're still trying to throw Dalton Knecht's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Knecht, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Knecht 20-plus points at plus 120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10-plus points at plus 118.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Time for the Blue Jays to really make another addition at the deadline. They just got Max Scherzer back. Can they get another pitcher to help out with the pitching staff, which I still think is their biggest issue? They're looking in to be in a good spot right now.
And also, Tom, like just the evolution of handicapping, right? Early in the season, I don't want to take this Blue Jays lineup. Like, it's really bad. Now, the past couple weeks, every day I'm looking at the Blue Jays going ooh, team total, RBI chances, guys that were in household names at the beginning of the year.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Back with you here on Betting Above the Rim. And it is time for Coach's Corner, where our guy, Coach James Young, is going to break down everything involving the New York Knicks' decision to hire Mike Brown. So let's throw it over to Coach's Corner.
Welcome to Coach's Corner, and Coach got to talk about a new coach, and that's Mike Brown and the impact that he's going to have with the New York Knicks coming over, obviously, from Sacramento. And when you look at Mike Brown, the thing you want to look at to me is obviously, the wins. Obviously, 454 wins, 304 losses, 10 games over 500 in regards to his playoff record. But it's this right here, which is the 3-time champion as an assistant coach with the Golden State Warriors. I really believe as a coach, sometimes you have to lose your job and go back and be an assistant and try and learn more about the game to help elevate yourself for the next time that you get a head coaching job. And he's been a 2-time NBA Coach of the Year, Mike Brown. So when you look at Mike Brown, right, what was great about Mike Brown is his defense. That is what you looked at. But when people look at him as Sacramento, they look at, wow, De'Aaron Fox doesn't play a ton of defense. Domantas Sabonis, he gets worked on a lot. Harrison Barnes, somewhat decent defender. Kevin Huerter doesn't play a lot. Malik Monk. So now he goes to a place like New York, okay? And he's got guys that can defend. Mitchell Robinson, great rim protector. Obviously, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. So he's got defenders on that roster, but offensively, when he went to Golden State, he learned that split screen action, right? When you have some kind of screen, someone to the basket, someone to the ball. So he's able to use that. So how does that benefit New York? When you look at New York going into next year, they're obviously the favorites to win the Atlantic Division title at minus 210. They're plus 260 to win the East. That's the best odds. Second best odds at 7.5 to win the NBA championship. They should be the favorites in the East. Why? Because everybody's hurt. So, and there's the pressures on New York because if they don't make it to the NBA Finals, it's a failure. But you get Yabusele, you get Jordan Clarkson off the bench, and that's what makes them dangerous in regards to that. So where does the adjustments come, folks? The adjustments come with Jalen Brunson. That is going to be the big adjustment that I see with the New York Knicks and how they use him, right? because when you look at the way they played in Sacramento, they used a lot of Domantas Sabonis at the high post. That brings him. I don't know if Karl Anthony Towns is going to be bombing threes a ton. They may put him at the pinch post. So one thing you should be looking at early in the year is the assist prop. Karl Anthony Towns actually can pass the ball a little bit. Their offense is going to be much better, Kevin, in regard to what they do and how they play. Defensively, they won't be much worse, but we both know if the Knicks don't make the NBA Finals this season, it's going to be a disappointment.
I think that is the entire reason why Mike Brown ends up the coach, and not because they believe Mike Brown is a guarantee to get them to the finals, but because they didn't trust Tom Thibodeau to get that job done. Mike Brown is a risk. It may not work. The Mike Brown resume is not spotless. This is someone who had a falling out, it felt like, with the superstar in De'Aaron Fox, well, star player in Sacramento, in De'Aaron Fox. And the expectations are lofty. The win total for the Knicks is 52.5. It's more wins than they had last year at 51-31. And the only time, Coach, that we saw Mike Brown win 53 games was when he was in Cleveland with LeBron. Maybe Mike Brown is here because maybe LeBron James. Maybe. I don't know if we should go. I don't know, JY. I mean, is that crazy? Am I talking crazy? Am I getting ahead of myself, Coach?
No, because here he comes to save the day. LeBron James. Now, listen, the Knicks have the players that can move it, and it's going to be interesting, and we'll talk more about LeBron moving forward, but let's put it this way. And I'm the one that always thinks that Jordan is the GOAT. But if LeBron goes to the Knicks, number one, they're going to go over that 52.5 win total. If LeBron goes to the Knicks, LeBron goes to the Knicks, and he wins the championship, 34th and 7th Avenue, statue up. That's it. Game over. Drive home safely. Jalen Brunson, I love you. You my guy. But I will let the devil come to the Knicks to win the championship. And if LeBron does it, I may actually call him the GOAT.
That just, that all right there is why at the end of this break, when we come on back, we'll talk a little bit about what is next for LeBron James. Will he be a Laker, a Knick, a Cav, a Warrior? We'll find out.
The Milwaukee
right
Bucks.
Here on
Come on now.
That is the idea. It really is for in-game live. You said it. The home team, who's a double-digit or close to it anyway, favorite, and get off to a bad start and actually have them trailing by 5, 6, 7 to the point where you get it at pick'em. And I don't know how many times. I'd like to know a stat of how many times a team that's been favored by double digits, trailed by double digits, and actually won the game. I bet it's a lot.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
You've got issues up and down here. The bullpen is falling apart, to put it nicely. And have you seen the schedule for the Yankees for the rest of the month of July here? We have Seattle, then we have the Cubs, then you have Atlanta, then you have Toronto again in Toronto. That really didn't go all that well this week. And then you have Philadelphia and Tampa. Good luck to the Yankees in July here.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
They're still trying to throw Dalton Knecht's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Knecht, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Knecht 20-plus points at plus 120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10-plus points at plus 118.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Time for the Blue Jays to really make another addition at the deadline. They just got Max Scherzer back. Can they get another pitcher to help out with the pitching staff, which I still think is their biggest issue? They're looking to be in a good spot right now.
And also, Tom, like just the evolution of handicapping, right? Early in the season, I don't want to take this Blue Jays lineup. Like, it's really bad. Now, the past couple weeks, every day I'm looking at the Blue Jays going ooh, team total, RBI chances, guys that weren't household names at the beginning of the year.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
We are live with you right here on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh, Coach James Young. All right, let's get into it, folks. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers are having themselves quite a weird offseason. To try and play catch-up and explain this, and if at any point, JY, you think I'm missing something or leaving something out, feel free to interject. The Los Angeles Lakers awaited LeBron James' decision on his player option, as many of us wonder, would this possibly be LeBron's last year? Year 23 would set the record for most seasons. He's also past age 40 now. How much longer could this possibly go on? LeBron James ultimately opted in, and that was it. No opt-in and extension. That was it. Just an opt-in. Except that wasn't just it. LeBron, via Rich Paul, let it be known that they've really appreciated their time with the Lakers and their partnership with Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka and everybody in the organization. And they understand that the organization, with Luka Doncic now in town, want to keep their eye towards the future. LeBron James, though, wants to keep his eye towards a championship. And they always want to make sure that they explore the best options for LeBron, which started to turn some heads. Does LeBron James not think that his best chance for a championship is with the Los Angeles Lakers? I think we could certainly have that debate. Are the Lakers pushing all in for a championship this upcoming season? Very clearly, obviously not. Why are they being given a pass for that? We'll talk about that as well. There's just one piece of this I'd like to clear up to make this very easy for everyone, because there are a lot of people who keep going, well, why did LeBron opt in if he doesn't want to be there? LeBron James finished 6th in MVP voting and made second-team All-NBA last season. Not 5 years ago, although also 5 years ago, or not 2 years ago, but again, also 2 years ago. It's that LeBron James this past season, according to any person you speak to, was one of the 10 best players in the league. Are you comfortable with one of the 10 best players in the NBA taking the minimum or playing for $8 million on the mid-level exception? I'm not. And I know for a fact that if LeBron did that, none of you would be as well. So let's stop doing this thing where we pretend to be confused as to why LeBron James, who is the now 13th highest paid player in the NBA, which means it's a discount, opted in to that deal. Because that right away is providing a disingenuous conversation. The important conversation we should have here, JY, is, should LeBron be pleased with how the Lakers are operating? And do you think the Lakers, who are right now trying to balance a two-timeline thing of win some games this year, but we want a clean cap sheet in 2 years, do you think the Lakers are going about this appropriately?
Absolutely not. I mean, Austin Reeves was another person. He decided he didn't want to sign an extension because he wants to wait the next year to get more money. So when you look at the Lakers, it's a hot mess express. Oh, besides the fact that when they were getting a new owner, they decided to tell Luka, but they didn't tell LeBron. So, and shout out to the Los Angeles Lakers being run now by Woody Johnson and the New York Jets. I'm sorry, there's my football reference for today's show. So when you look at it, folks, I want you to understand this as a coach. Okay, and there's been times I've been on LeBron, but besides points per game, ready? In the playoffs, LeBron, rebounds, higher, assists, off by 0.2, steals, higher, blocks, higher, less turnovers, less fouls, better assist to turnover ratio, all more. He shot better from the floor, and he shot better from the three-point line than Luka Doncic. So you mean to tell me that LeBron shouldn't be a little bit upset at what's going on? That denominating is your big move? Now, I'm a DeAndre Ayton nut. Am I the president of the DeAndre Ayton fan club? I'm the only person in the fan club right now with DeAndre Ayton.
It's true.
So he's going to be better. But is that going to be what's going to move the needle for LeBron James? A guy that wants to win another championship? See, this is the thing. I said a crazy comment, I think, during the draft or during the show where I said to Kevin, and Kevin almost lost his mind. Like I zigged and zagged and said, LeBron James put pressure by saying rings don't matter in order to try and get LA to do something. Now he's seeing LA do nothing, and now he's like, get me up out of here. He won't say it, but the best thing for both parties is to move on. Let him go, find a good trade spot for him where he can win, and then you could say, this is Luka's team, LeBron is gone, and let's start to see what we can do moving forward. But I want people to be careful. I want people to be very careful about how they do this with LeBron. Okay? Because you are going to bank on Luka Doncic, who is a phenomenal talent, but his defense has been questioned, his work ethic, his time has been questioned, and his conditioning has been questioned. Name me one time in his 23-year career that you've questioned one of those three things about LeBron James.
So I want to just say it is best for both is true if the Lakers have taken every tampering law and completely thrown them out the window. Because this team is prioritizing cap space 2 years from now in a league where nobody who is projected to make an all-star game makes free agency. Who was the best player signed this offseason to a free agent contract? Miles Turner? With respect to Miles Turner, he's never making an all-star game. So the Lakers maybe got a promise from Giannis or Jokic that they're coming. And again, those fines will be so hilarious. The guy who bought the Lakers may have to resell the Lakers, or we'll never find out, and that's fine. And again, if they were given those promises, then yes, it is best for both sides to move on. But what would really be best for the Lakers is looking around and going, oh, we have the best duo in basketball. Maybe we should act like it. Maybe then we should figure out how to complete this roster when you have a league that everybody still feels is open. Denver brought in Cam Johnson and Tim Hardaway Jr., and we're seeing their odds skyrocket. The Rockets brought in Kevin Durant, who has never been as good as LeBron James, and their odds are skyrocketing. And the Lakers are sitting there like, 6-7 seed. What are you going to? You were the 3 seed last year, and if Luka was right, who knows what kind of run they went on. And yes, if Luka was right, because as Coach said, LeBron outplayed Luka the same way he outplayed AD every single year they were in the postseason, except AD was supposed to take over. So I'm still waiting, for someone to actually take the team over from LeBron, despite the fact that they keep telling us it's not LeBron's team. But here's what I would say to LeBron James. I know he doesn't want to, but it is on him if he evaluates this situation and it is not good enough to press the detonate button. At the end of the day, look around this league. How many guys haven't hit that button over an X? Kobe did it, right? And then they figured it out and got Pau Gasol. Greats have done it. That's what they do, right? Steph didn't have to do it. Yeah, luckily for Steph, it's because they keep making moves. They brought in Jimmy Butler. The Warriors were the kings of the 2 timeline and then brought in Jimmy Butler. And the Lakers are not sure if they want to push all in on, again, not just LeBron, but Luka, who is supposed to be one of the 5 best players in the world. So I don't blame LeBron for looking at this and going, yikes. The onus, though, then is on LeBron to leave this organization and join the Knicks or the Cavs.
No.
If he really wants to play with Steph, he can go to Golden State because there are better opportunities out there for LeBron than the Lakers if this is how the Lakers are going to operate.
They really put Milwaukee as bad. I had to put my glasses on. Giannis may not be there. I'll tell you for now. New York.
Let me just say this.
If
you think Coach is annoyed about the Knicks, let them get LeBron James.
Let them get.
We're going to stay in L.A. It's Clippers next.
West Side.
That is the idea. It really is for in-game live. Have you said it? The home team, who's a double-digit or close to it anyway, favorite, and get off to a bad start and actually have them trailing by 5, 6, 7 to the point where you get it at pick'em. And I don't know how many times. I'd like to know a stat of how many times a team that's been favored by double digits, trailed by double digits, and actually won the game. I bet it's a lot.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
You've got issues up and down here. The bullpen is falling apart, to put it nicely. And have you seen the schedule for the Yankees for the rest of the month of July here? We have Seattle, then we have the Cubs, then you have Atlanta, then you have Toronto again in Toronto. That really didn't go all that well this week. And then you have Philadelphia and Tampa. Good luck to the Yankees in July here.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
They're still trying to throw Dalton Knecht's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Knecht, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Knecht 20-plus points at plus 120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10-plus points at plus 118.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Time for the Blue Jays to really make another addition at the deadline. They just got Max Scherzer back. Can they get another pitcher to help out with the pitching staff, which I still think is their biggest issue? They're looking in to be in a good spot right now.
And also, Tom, like just the evolution of handicapping, right? Early in the season, like, I don't want to take this Blue Jays lineup. Like, it's really bad. Now, the past couple weeks, like, every day I'm looking at the Blue Jays going like, ooh, team total, RBI chances, guys that were in household names at the beginning of the year.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Back with you right here on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh, Coach James Young. And what is very obvious frustration that I have around the Lakers. Some, again, will probably say, hey, Dubs, you want these guys to push all in with LeBron. JY, is Kawhi Leonard right now as good as LeBron?
No.
Is James Harden right now as good as LeBron?
Not even as good as Luka.
So both of those guys then realistically are not as good as either member of the Lakers duo. And yet, all the Clippers are trying to do is win at a high level next year because the Clippers are looking around at an open NBA and giving it a go. Now, am I going to buy into the Clippers' love? We do this lesson every single year. But the LA Clippers retain James Harden. They've never moved off Kawhi. They've brought in John Collins now and are linked to not one, but two guys who feel as if either ending up a Laker would probably make LeBron happy in Bradley Beal and Chris Paul. And you can laugh all you want, but this is a Clipper team, JY, who losing Norm Powell, and it didn't feel like they got a great return for Norm Powell. It feels as if it's because they have a good idea Beal will be coming. So they strengthen the power forward position. They bring in a comparable level guard with less responsibility. Their backup point guard could potentially be Chris Paul would have signed with the Clippers already, by the way, if he thought he was going to start, because Chris Paul still wants to start very badly. I'm not saying I am all in on the Clippers, but I respect the Clippers looking around and saying to themselves, the West is open. We can be competitive. Let's go out there and make some competitive moves.
And it's not only that. It's bringing back Nicholas Batum. Oh, by the way, they also got Brook Lopez.
Yeah.
So you look at a team where, to me, I think Bradley Beal is the move. I know Bradley Beal is a phenomenal scorer, but Bradley Beal is not a point guard. That's why it will never, ever work in Phoenix with Devin Booker. You put Bradley Beal at the 2 with Harden at the point, and then you go Kawhi, John Collins, Zubac, who I thought should have been the most improved player. Zubac was actually fantastic. And then you bring, ready, Derek Jones Jr., Brook Lopez, Bojan Bogdanovic, Chris Dunn, Nicholas Batum off the bench. And now you're looking at a team with a top 5 coach in the NBA, right? And then you look at an owner who wants to win. You could say a lot of things about Steve Ballmer.
Mm-hmm.
Don't call him someone that doesn't want to win. Because he'll pay the luxury tax. He don't care. He doesn't think about the future. His thing is the future is now. And that organization gets it. And they understand. And they're an organization that traded a 20-point-a-game guy ascending for John Collins because there's another move behind it. That is next level thinking of what Lawrence Frank and that front office staff has continually tried to do with the Clippers. Now, listen, they've made mistakes. I mean, the Paul George for SGA trade is going to be going down as arguably one of the worst trades in history. But at least for the Clippers, unlike the Lakers, Kevin, they look at their superstars and they keep on swinging.
I just, and I know I'm making this a LeBron thing, but this is a team that is pushing all in and also has the coach, by the way, LeBron demanded the Lakers get and they cheaped out on. Like LeBron doesn't have to look far to be able to point to an example of what he would be looking for. And the thing again that remains crazy to me is it's not like LeBron is supposed to be the best player on the team. And the Lakers are like, listen, man, like you're going to retire next year. We can't be left with nothing. Like, no, like you have Luka. So to me, it's a bad order of operations. The Clippers feel, JY, right, with some of these win totals that are out now, they feel like they could be an incredible win total team, right? 47.5. They won 50 games last year. They won 50 games despite the fact that in the regular season, Kawhi Leonard only played 37 of them. Like, I know Kawhi doesn't play a lot. I think you'd expect Kawhi to play more than 37. But it is still a group I cannot imagine I find myself willing to bet in the big-time futures market because I still don't trust Kawhi to be out there. And that's where the Harden stuff matters. Like, Harden's close to, by the way, what was an all-NBA season in Game 7, 2 for 8, 7 points. He was like still better than Kawhi in that game. But, like, it's very hard to see this Clippers team, JY, actually being in a conference finals.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, we're banking on someone that we can't bank on, and it's Kawhi. And we're banking on a James Harden that no matter what he does, Game 7, he turns into a pumpkin, right?
Yeah.
And so they
have to win every series in a sweep.
They have to win everything in a sweep because it gets to 7, it's like run the other way, right? But then when you look at the West, right, there's OKC, there's Houston, there's Denver, there's the Lakers if they get it right. Like, you know, what team does Memphis take a jump? Who's that next team that's going to take a jump? Because there's always going to be what happens with San Antonio. There's too many what ifs when you look at that team, particularly with their age and also with the ability to stay healthy, that you can't bank on the Clippers. The Clippers are going to be a team that's a wait and see if they're healthy, get them to the playoffs, get the matchup, and then that's when you jump on them with a coach like Ty Lue.
But again, like a round to round, and I'll just say this for everyone who's like, hold on, kid up. So you're saying that the Clippers are doing a good job, but you don't think they can make a conference finals? Yeah, but the Clippers want to make a conference finals. The Lakers don't even look interested in doing it, in winning a playoff round, despite the fact that they have Luka and LeBron. Like, that is, again, my consistent beef with this entire situation. The Clippers project to be, though, one of the top, 6, call it, seeds right now in the Western Conference. We pause the NBA, go to the WNBA, and some concerns around 2 of the most popular stars in this league.
That is the idea. It really is for In-Game Live. Have you said it? The home team, who's a double-digit or close to it anyway, favorite, and get off to a bad start and actually have them trailing by 5, 6, 7 to the point where you get it at pick'em. And I don't know how many times. I'd like to know a stat of how many times a team that's been favored by double digits, trailed by double digits, and actually won the game. I bet it's a lot.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
You've got issues up and down here. The bullpen is falling apart, to put it nicely. And how you see the schedule for the Yankees for the rest of the month of July here? We have Seattle, then we have the Cubs, then you have Atlanta, then you have Toronto again in Toronto. That really didn't go all that well this week. And then you have Philadelphia and Tampa. Good luck to the Yankees in July here.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
They're still trying to throw Dalton Knecht's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Knecht, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Knecht 20-plus points at plus 120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10-plus points at plus 118.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Time for the Blue Jays to really make another addition at the deadline. They just got Max Scherzer back. Can they get another pitcher to help out with the pitching staff, which I still think is their biggest issue? They're looking into be in a good spot right now.
And also, Tom, like just the evolution of handicapping, right? Early in the season, like, I don't want to take this Blue Jays lineup. Like, it's really bad. Now, the past couple weeks, like, every day I'm looking at the Blue Jays going like, ooh, team total, RBI chances, guys that weren't household names at the beginning of the year.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
We close out our little hour here with you on SportsGrid, betting above the rim pro basketball today. Kevin Walsh, Coach James Young, figuring out what's more concerning. The Fever, who through the first 20 games 10-10, or the Vegas Aces, who through their first 20 games are 9-11. So, JY, I ask you, more concerning, the Fever's first 20 or the Aces' first 20?
It's the Aces' first 20 because, number one, the Aces have had obviously a championship team and a championship pedigree for a long time. And if you really look at the way that the Vegas Aces are playing, you know, I want people to understand this. And this, I want to say this right now. This is not a knock on some of their players, but statistically, it's not adding up. Look at Asia Wilson, who I consider to be, you know, one of the, three best players in the world. Well, Asia Wilson is at 20.7 points per game. That's her lowest since 2022. Her rebounds are 8.7 per game. That's the least since 2020. Her shooting splits of 45.3%. The previous three years, 51.8, 55.7, 50.1. The only thing that she's doing is shooting better from the free throw line. So to me, when I look at Asia Wilson, she's not playing as well. But it's not because of Asia. It's because of the fact that Jackie Young is Jackie Young. Chelsea Gray continues to go downhill. Jewel Lloyd trade has not worked out. And oh, by the way, in the last 3 years, they've lost Kate Martin, Darica Hamby, and Alicia Clark all to their bench. There's not enough players on that roster, and Becky Hammond is not adjusting. And then there's the small little thing that Becky Hammond's top assistant went to the Valkyries. And what do you know? The Valkyries have a better record, I do believe, than the Aces.
Awesome.
And the Valkyries are the best story. By the way, give that lady the Coach of the Year award right now. They had a win total of 8.5 before the season, and that team's ascending to make the playoffs. So to me, they're more of a concern to me than Indiana, because for me, Indiana, they had to get DeWanna Bonner off the team. Shout out to DeWanna Bonner, got the $200,000 bag and got up out of there and got to go play with her fiance, only in America, or only in the WNBA, of course. But then, you know, obviously, Caitlin Clark's got to play better and play different. And that's real quick. I'm going to say this about Indiana before I give it back to Kevin.
Well, let me talk, and we'll go to Indiana.
Go ahead.
Just quickly with Vegas. Because for those that don't know, I picked Vegas to win the title. I thought that they would be the best team in the WNBA. And I've been trying to figure out, like, what is going on? What is going on? Like, how is it this bad? Like, I understand if they're not the best team, but, like, how is it this bad? And the more I look into it, it is a team that is going to be their top four are so much better than everybody else. To give you an idea, the on-off, so how much better you are with this player on than when they're not on. Aja, plus 21.1. Jackie Young, plus 12.7. Chelsea Gray, 15.6. And Jewel Lloyd, plus 7.6. They are disastrous when those four are not out there. But the real problem is none of those four players are playing as good as I thought they would. None of them. I thought Jewel Lloyd would have a bounce-back season. Win shares per 48, her worst since her rookie year. Jackie Young, I have found to be an ascending player. At only the age of 27, why would that not continue to tick up? It's ticked down. Chelsea Gray, who we knew last year took a step back, but prior to that was one of the best guards in this league and was very encouraging in the Unrivaled. I thought it would go up. It's not. And Aja, you have to understand, the bar is the bar that she set. But that's the bar. Her prior two seasons are the two all-time single-season records for win shares in a single WNBA season. She set the record in 2023 and topped it in 2024. And that's not who she's been. She's been one of the 8 most impactful players easily in this league. I was banking on Aja Wilson being the best player in this league. Can it turn around? Because I think they are all so talented, it could, but they're going to be fighting from behind all season. I worry about their vibes quite massively. We only have about 30 seconds left, but I wanted to get that out there. Talk to me on the Fever quickly.
Caitlin Clark's got to change her game.
Okay.
They have enough people with Kelsey Mitchell, with Aaliyah Boston in that pick and roll. Obviously, you've seen the improvement of Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham. She does not have to be a 25-point-a-game scorer. What she needs to be is a 10-assist player. Be more of a Halliburton, less of a James Harden when she shoots the ball too much. If she does that and adjusts, their offense is a lot more dangerous.
I feel as if Clark has to get this three-point shot, right? The coldness that extends even before the injury is really the most concerning thing for the Fever. Coach James Young, Kevin Walsh, right here on SportsGrid, betting above the rim.
That is the idea. It really is for in-game live. You said it. The home team, who's a double-digit or close to it anyway, favorite, and get off to a bad start and actually have them trailing by 5, 6, 7 to the point where you get it at pick'em. And I don't know how many times. I'd like to know a stat of how many times a team that's been favored by double digits, trailed by double digits, and actually won the game. I bet it's a lot.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
You've got issues up and down here. The bullpen is falling apart, to put it nicely. And have you seen the schedule for the Yankees for the rest of the month of July here? We have Seattle, then we have the Cubs, then you have Atlanta, then you have Toronto again in Toronto. That really didn't go all that well this week. And then you have Philadelphia and Tampa. Good luck to the Yankees in July here.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
They're still trying to throw Dalton Knecht's name in trades, and I don't even know if he's viewed as a positive asset still.
And that's a crazy thing. Dalton Knecht, if you look at FanDuel, Dalton Knecht 20-plus points at plus 120. He's giving you no indication that he's that right there. I mean, Kevin, I would be more likely if we knew we were going to get the minutes. Bronny James, 10-plus points at plus 118.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Time for the Blue Jays to really make another addition at the deadline. They just got Max Scherzer back. Can they get another pitcher to help out with the pitching staff, which I still think is their biggest issue? They're looking to be in a good spot right now.
And also, Tom, like just the evolution of handicapping, right? Early in the season, I don't want to take this Blue Jays lineup. It's really bad. Now, the past couple weeks, every day I'm looking at the Blue Jays going ooh, team total, RBI chances, guys that weren't household names at the beginning of the year.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.